What's going on, everybody? Josh Engleman for Awesemo.com, and I am back with my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Tuesday, January 26th. Now, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you know when this and all of our other content goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman so you can get updates to these sim results as we get closer to lock. And finally, let me know in the comments section who are your favorite options on FanDuel for tonight's slate. We're rounding out the bottom of my top 10 with Donovan Mitchell, Eric Gordon, Victor Oladipo, Marcus Morris, and John Wall on the outside looking in. Who will be my top favorites for the day? It's time to find out. First up, number 5, we're going Serge Ibaka, power forward eligibility, 5,800, projected for 29, goals 42. He's in the optimal lineup 40% of the time. 28 minutes, 24% usage, 15.7 boards. It's a relatively neutral pace matchup. They gain like 0.6 of a possession. That's meaningless. Atlanta, not all that great defensively. I'm actually projecting Serge Ibaka a little bit lower than normal. He's a 1.08 fantasy point per minute guy. I actually have him at 1.05. No, 1.05. I do. I should have just been confident from the beginning. Even just slightly lower than his normal rates. It's a shorter slate, and 5,800 for a power forward spot kind of works if you're going stars and scrubsy because there's a ton of value now. No Kawhi Leonard, no Paul George, no Patrick Beverly. There's a lot of value on this Clippers team, but I think Serge Ibaka looking pretty good just because of that power forward eligibility. Speaking of Clippers, number 4, Nick Batum, small forward eligibility, 5,500, projected for 26.5, and he's in the optimal lineup 41% of the time. Now, these minutes feel real secure. I'm giving him 34 minutes at minimal usage, 13%, 10.5 points, 5 boards, 3.5 assists, maybe a steal and a half. We're talking about a 0.8 fantasy point per minute guy. It's rarely exciting, but Batum should see just a little bit more work with all the studs out, with no Kawhi, no Paul George, even Pat Beverly to an extent. You could see some secondary creation coming out of Batum, and 5,500 for a small forward that should play north of 30 minutes on a 3-game slate. It's really hard to find better options than that. And that's why you see Batum in 41% of optimals. You got to load up on Clippers today. Speaking of Clippers, number 3, Reggie Jackson, point guard eligibility, 5K. I've got him projected for 28. He's in the optimal lineup 45% of the time. I think he's going to play big minutes. I've got him in for 30. Wouldn't surprise me if it was a little bit more. Honestly, wouldn't surprise me if it was a little bit less either, but I don't think it's going to matter all that much. Increased usage, 23%. I got him at 16 points, almost 5 assists, 3 boards. Still the same matchup against the Atlanta Hawks, but this is a spot where I think Reggie Jackson gains over his normal rates. I've got him as a 0.95 fantasy point per minute guy. That's a crazy rate for 30 minutes and 5K. This is where all the value exists. So getting the Clippers right will be essential. But as you can see, Jackson, Batum, Ibaka, even Marcus Morris, these guys are all in the lineup, optimal lineup, that is, pretty frequently. You're going to need a lot of Clippers. Finally, a non-Clipper, number 2, Demarcus Cousins, center eligibility, 7,200. I've got him projected for 42 fantasy points. The goal's 47, and he is in the optimal lineup 55% of the time. I'm giving him 30 minutes. He's going to be a 1.4 fantasy point per minute guy with everybody else out. 24% usage, 16 points, 13 rebounds, a steal, a block and a half, a couple assists, a massive pace up spot against Washington, a team that is not all that good defensively, probably one of the worst teams in the league. But Houston gains 4 possessions over their average in this game. That is monstrous for Cousins. No Christian Wood is really big for him. I expect him to get a ton of run. Even if he gets slightly less than 30 minutes, it's not going to matter. 7,200, not a problematic price tag. He's going to be very, very popular today on both sites, but I see no way around it. Demarcus Cousins, the number 2 contender. Now, before we get to number 1, one last reminder, the thumbs up button. Go ahead and click that bad boy. Helps me out a ton. Subscribe to the channel. We are really, really close to 50,000 subs. We're going to get there before the Super Bowl. It was our goal for the past couple weeks now, and we're north of 49,000, so we're slowly getting there. Hit that subscribe button, and then go follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. You don't want to miss these updates. And finally, the number 1 contender of the slate, Bradley Beal, 10,300, shooting guard eligibility, projected for 49, and he's in the optimal lineup 56% of the time. giving them big minutes, 36. They're still missing a ton of guys, so this is going to be Beal's team. Plus Russell Westbrook, I'm expecting to still be at least mildly limited, some reduced minutes. This is Beal's team. Massive usage when these guys are off the floor. It's 38% for me today. He's a 1.36 fantasy point per minute guy. I've got him projected for 32.5 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, almost a steal and a half. It's a slight pace up matchup against Houston. They gain an extra possession, and Houston's defense is terrible. No defense is going to be good when John Wall is out there, or when Boogie Cousins is the rim protector. This spot is as good as it gets. Bradley Beal is well worth the pay up price, and that's why he's the #1 contender. And honestly, I don't expect it to change as we get closer to lock. Alrighty, folks, that will do it. Those are my NBA DFS contenders on FanDuel for Tuesday, January 26th. I'm not on a strategy show. I'm not on live before lock, so this is as good as it gets for you. I will be back tomorrow with another edition of the Contenders, so good luck tonight, and I'll see you again tomorrow morning.